Okay, so when you're ready, you can use your block if you want to. We are going to sit to begin, so you could grab your block. Got two, for some reason. If you don't want to sit on your block, we are just sitting in Sukhasana, an easy pose. If you're using the block, just sitting onto the edge of the block. Again, if you feel it doesn't help you, then don't bother doing it. But if it does, if it helps you to feel more comfortable in that seated position, then definitely take it. So take a moment to actually get yourself situated. So you do want to kind of feel you're on your sit bones when you're sitting in Sukhasana, so kind of quite tall. Our shoulders just back and down, and the head, the chin lifted a little bit to start with, just so you can get into alignment. And then you can always lower your chin or close your eyes, keep your chin lifted. And the hands are really up to you, so just onto your legs or onto the ground, whatever feels most comfortable in your shoulders. And then either with your eyes closed or your gaze lowered, you just begin the practice just by taking 2 cleansing breaths. So when you're ready, just taking an inhale through your nose. And then exhale through your mouth. We'll do that again, so just take it in, fill up with as much air as you can. And then let it all go. So you come to that end of that breath, you're going to close your lips, just beginning to breathe in and out through your nose. And again, if that's not a comfortable breath for you, for whatever reason, then you just breathe how you breathe. Just make sure that you are getting enough air in. But perhaps drawing your attention towards your breath and just allowing it to help you to arrive onto your mat. Perhaps using your breath to help relieve tension that you might feel in parts of your body. Just helping to keep your mind present. We're going to start to move a little bit here, so you can keep your eyes closed for the first bit, and either the hands just still on your legs if they're there, or release them down, so it just helps release tension in your shoulders a little bit, release the arms down. When you're ready, on an inhale, we're just going to slowly lower your chin towards your chest, just taking your time, starting to feel a little stretch through the back of your neck. And then as you exhale, just taking that chin up towards one shoulder, so just kind of like a U shape. Releasing it back down again. And then exhale. Just move the other way, so again, just gently and to how it feels in your neck. And then start to align your breath with your movement. Just breathing out and breathing in. Your time moving through it. Tuning into your breath. When you're ready, we'll start to think about coming back towards the middle. So you can just come back towards the centre in your own time, and then lifting your chin up. And this time we're going to draw the shoulders all the way up towards your ears. So squeeze them all the way up, and then just release them down quite harshly. We'll do that again. So just inhale, draw them up, squeeze it in, and exhale. We'll do that once more, just releasing any tension you might feel in your shoulders. Take the hands back onto your legs. We are going to circle round here now. So just with your left shoulder, start to move forwards and then start to move back. So we're just using your hands. You can bring in more through your head and your neck if you like. You can move as far forward or back as you want. With your breath, maybe inhale to move forwards and exhale to move back. When you're ready, we'll start to change directions. Just go the other way. When you're ready, start to come back towards the centre. As you come in, we'll change the cross of your legs. Just bring your other leg in front. Start to sit up tall again. So this time we're going to stretch through the side of your body. So as you inhale, reach up with the arms. As you exhale, we're going to open up through your chest. So you might lean back a little bit by just squeezing the shoulder blades together. As you inhale, reach back up again, and we're going to hook your thumbs as we get to the top. And we're going to dive forward, so it's if you're diving into a cool body of water, slowly releasing down. Let's do that again. So inhale, big stretch and reach up. Exhale, let's open through your chest. Inhale, reach up. Again, hooking your thumbs. And then just diving in. Start to move through that again with your own breath, just reaching and rising up. Opening your chest when you're ready. Moving forward when you can. We'll do that once more, so take your time. As you come down this time, stay here, just moving your hands back towards your legs. Take your time moving up. You're going to take a little twist round towards the right, so just with your left hand on your right knee and the right fingertips behind you. Again, gently rotating. Let's move the other way. And when you're ready, slowly make your way back towards the middle. As you come in, we're going to move to an all fours position now. So again, if you want to use your blocks, you can just have them handy, just at the top of your mat. Just bring your hands underneath your shoulders and start to bring your knees underneath your hips. So when you're ready, a few cat-cow movements here. So on the inhale, just drop the belly and go forward through your chest. And on the exhale, tucking the tailbone and rounding through the upper back and shoulders. Start to find your rhythm. We'll finish off on this one, so just take your time moving through it. Make your way back in towards the centre. And from here, we're going to move to our first downward facing dog. So start to tuck the toes and lift the hips and press up and back. And maybe moving your feet and legs a little bit here. Easing yourself into this first one. When you're ready, we're going to start to move up towards the top. So if you lift your heels up, we're going to just take a slow walk up towards the top of your mat, taking your time as you move up. As you come to the top, we're just going to fold forwards here, so just for a moment. And then we are going to roll and rise up. So we'll draw the belly in, and then just start to slowly roll. So stacking everything, come up towards the top. Its palms maybe shining forwards, and the heart opening. And the breath just moving easily. Our practice today is called Illuminate, and it's really trying to use our yoga practice to help us to really feel a little bit brighter than the weather, at least in our body and in our mind. So when you're ready, you can open the eyes, release the hands. We're going to start with a little bit of balance. There are a few balance postures today, so just standing with your feet, so about hip distance apart. Now from here, we're going to lift the arms up. So just level with your shoulders. If it feels harder with the arms, you can always leave them out. When you're ready on an inhale, we're going to start to reveille the feet. So we're lifting up through your heels and moving towards the balls of your feet. Nice strong ankles. On the exhale, slowly releasing all the way back down. So we'll do that again. So inhale, start to lift up, rising up. Exhale, release. So we're going to add an arm here. So as you come up, your right arm, if you can, comes up and just kind of level with your ear if you can. And then exhale, slowly release back down. We'll do the same with the left. Start to think about moving it up as you lift your heel. And then slowly release. Start to align your breath to this movement as well. Inhaling, we lift. Exhale to lower. And use the whole of your breath. Let's do one more of these on either side, so take your time. Well done. Slowly releasing all the way down, release your arms. And from here, we're going to start to warm up through your legs. So just at the top of your mat once more, so feet together or apart. Draw the shoulders back and down. So as you inhale, we'll reach with your arms. On the exhale, just folding forwards the way you can, so bending into your knees. As you inhale here, lengthen forwards through your spine, so stretching it out. On the exhale, release your hands down and step back with your right leg, lowering your right knee towards the mat. From here, just try and make sure your left knee is over your ankle. We are going to lift the chest up here. You could definitely use blocks here if you want to, and you could stay with your hands down, because it is a little bit of balance. You might even want to move your left knee out a little bit. Keep your knee over your ankle. So as you inhale, we're going to reach up with your arms, so we're stretching up. On the exhale, we're going to take the arms along our sides. So we're going to start to move the hips back and straighten through your front leg a little bit. So let's do that again. So inhale, start to move forwards, bending the leg, reaching with your arms. Exhale, start to move back a little bit. Yeah. You want to keep that front leg straight, bent, I should say. You definitely can. So inhale, move forwards. Exhale, straighten the leg. Okay, as you inhale this time, we'll just move forwards once more. And then place your hands onto the ground. Now we're just going to come in for a little twist here. So we'll keep that right hand down, left hand onto your knee, and then start to just gently rotate round towards that side. If you want a little bit more, lift up, so through your left arm. Again, see how that feels coming into that twist. And align your arms, so top hand kind of aligned with the bottom hand. Just watch that left knee doesn't drop out to the side. Okay, let's take one more inhale. So release both hands back down towards the ground. We're going to tuck the toes under now on the back leg and lift the back knee off the ground. So again, make sure you feel pretty level. You can definitely stay here, or we're going to lift the chest up. So just start to move up through your chest. Again, the back leg could be bent. Front knee is bent, and you've got your knee over your ankle on that front leg. We're going to do the same arms, but we're not going to be straightening the leg. We're just going to keep it bent. So as you inhale, reach up, first of all. And then on the exhale, start to move your chest forwards as you stretch your arms along your sides. So get a nice long stretch. Inhale to lift. And exhale to move forward. Okay, let's do that once more. So take your time, inhale up. Exhale, move forward. As you inhale and lift this time, we're going to keep the arms lifted, but we'll bring them down towards your chest. And we are going to come in for a twist here. So your right hand is just going to go on your left thigh somewhere. And then your left arm is going to stretch behind you. So we're kind of reaching back through that arm. Just breathing deeply, draw the inner thighs towards one another. Okay, let's take one more inhale. Bring your hands back towards the centre of your chest. Now from here, we're going to move to warrior one. So you might need to hop your back foot out a tiny bit and then place the heel on the ground. So we're now in this warrior one position. And you can stay here, just hands to your heart. Maybe reach with your arms if you want. Maybe take your arms back a little bit. Again, just how does it feel for you? Pressing equally through your feet, drawing your belly in. Try and find a little bit of stillness in the posture. Let's take one more inhale. Bring your hands just down towards your chest here. And then turn on the toes of your back legs, so you're back into this lunge position. And we are just going to step up towards the top of your mat. So we'll step forward. Okay, let's try that on the other side. So start with your feet and build a foundation. When you're ready, inhale to reach and exhale to fold. Lengthen your spine forward on the inhale, so stretch it out. Exhale, hands down. We'll step back with the left leg this time, so we're stepping it back, lowering your knee down. Start to align your knee and your ankle on your right leg. And when you're ready, lift your chest up. So maybe reaching up with your arms. So on the inhale again, we start to reach and lengthen through the side of your body. On the exhale, we straighten the leg as we move back, reaching the hands by your sides. Do that again, so inhale, lift. As you lift, the hips kind of sink down a little bit more. And exhale, move back. So let's do that once more, so take your time. And then when you're ready, as you move forward this time, we're just going to come into that twist again. So we're going to take the left hand down and the right hand either onto your knee, turn your chest down, or perhaps reach up with that right arm and just see how that feels. So left hand on the ground for this first one. When we come up a little bit higher, we'll come up onto the knee or the thigh. But try and align your shoulders, aligning your arms, drawing your belly in. Okay, let's take one more inhale. We'll slowly release, so both hands down towards the mat. We'll tuck the toes again and lift through your back knee, so lifting it up off the ground. So if you need to make adjustments to your feet before you come up to that high lunge, then definitely do. And then draw your belly in, start to lift up into that high crescent lunge position. So again, bending your back knee, maybe relaxing your shoulders a little bit more here. So we'll move through it again, keeping that front leg bent. So as you inhale, stretch and lengthen. And then on the exhale, move your chest forward, stretching the arms along your side. Inhale to lift. And exhale to fold forwards. Okay, let's do that once more. So inhale up. Exhale to fold. So as you inhale and lift this time, we'll just see here, we'll come into that twist once more. So we're going to take that left hand just on your right leg and then reaching behind you, so with that right arm. And just see how that feels. Open up through your chest a little bit. Rotate through your belly button. Okay, let's move to the center of the hands. So we're coming into warrior one, so you might just hop in and out to the sides a little bit. Heel goes down. So sort the legs out first. Make sure your shoulders and hips are kind of facing forward. If you need to adjust, then do that. And then maybe reach with your arms. Maybe moving the wrists back a little bit. Just see how it all feels. Okay, so when you're ready, we'll release the hands, so just down towards your chest. And then turning on the toes of your back leg, we're going to just step up towards the top of your mat again. Okay, we're going to come in for another little bit of balance. So again, use the walls here. This time it is just a stretch for the front of our thigh. We are going to do dancer a little bit later, but this is just really a preparation for it. So we're going to stand onto your right leg, bending into your right knee a little bit. And then we're just going to bend that left leg. So it's just going to come behind us. And that might be enough. You might just stay here with your hands towards the center of your chest. If you would like a little bit more, then with your left hand, we reach for the foot. And in this instance, because we're trying to stretch out through the quad, then we're just going to try and push the hip forward, so the frontal hip forward, and the knee pulls back a little bit. So we're trying to kind of get your leg in line with the standing leg. And then either hand towards the heart or maybe reach up. We're not trying to push our foot into our hand or anything. We're trying to push the hip forwards a little bit to increase that stretch down the front of your thigh. And but still with that nice steady gaze and an even breath. And when you're ready, slowly release. Bring your feet and your hands maybe back together. Just closing your eyes for a moment, being aware of any sensations you feel. And come back to your breath if you've lost it. Let's do that on the other side. So again, separate your feet a little bit and bend your left knee a little. So belly pulling in, right leg bending. And again, just staying like this and using a wall if you need to. And then maybe taking hold of the foot, so right hand. Start to think about the alignment of your legs. So pushing the hip forwards, drawing the knee back in line. And you should feel it quite strongly through the front of your thigh. It's hand to the heart or maybe reach up. But steady breath. Steady gaze. Now then, when you're ready, slowly release your feet and your hands back together once more. Okay, we'll release the hands and open the eyes. We are going to come in for some standing postures now. So if you do have blocks or a block and you want to use them, we will be doing a forward fold at some point. So you might need it for that, or you might choose to use it for other postures as well. So when you're ready, we're going to come up towards the top of your mat. We are stepping back today, so you might want to just separate your feet about hip distance. Start to feel nice and balanced and draw your belly in. So your right foot is going to step back to warrior two. So when you're ready, stepping back, you can know that you can adjust your feet and your legs when you get there. Start to align your knee over your ankle and your front leg. So start to draw back a little bit through this right glute and pull your left knee open. And then start to introduce the arms when you feel comfortable. So aligning your shoulders. They should be pretty level. And your gaze just past that front hand. Good. And just breathing deeply. Start to feel a balance through your feet. Okay, let's take one more inhale. Now we are going to reverse this. So when you're ready, reaching back to your right hand, so just gently down that right leg. Bring your left hand up and then just reach it straight up. So as we reach it straight up, that might be enough just to give you that sense of spaciousness and illumination kind of there. If you want a bit more, then keeping your legs the same, but lean back with your body so you go even further back. You just have to be aware and listening and noticing if anything starts to feel too much. But keep an eye on your breath, so recognizing that when the breath changes, then it's maybe not always for the good, so you want to keep it focused on that. Now from here we are going to keep this sense of spaciousness and we're going to move forwards into side angle. So just gently taking that left forearm down towards your thigh and then either reaching past your ear. If that feels too much, just reach it straight up. So just see how that feels. So past your ear, we're trying to get that idea of that stretch all the way up through the side of your body and then continuing to move up If you want to, you could use your block here. So taking it towards the inside of that foot, you could take your hand down to the block, which will allow you to go a little bit more, but still keeping that sense of openness and the sense of drawing your chest round towards the side. Again, does it feel right, then just stick with what you've got. Be light with your left arm, so we're not sinking into it too much. Okay, let's move back up. So draw your belly in, lift yourself back up. When you come back up, you can just simply release your hands here. So we are going to come into kind of a goddess squat position. So our toes on our left foot are out. So we're going to turn the toes on the right foot out as well. But you might not be in the magic position. So, you know, be prepared to move. So just by turning your feet, it doesn't mean to see you in your position for your goddess squat. Move into it. And then align your shoulders over your hips. Bend your legs a little bit and start to pull the knees open a little. Now from here, we're going to stretch the arms out. We're going to come in for Garudasana arms here. So left arm under right, and you might just take your shoulders. You might take that little bind, so we come further in and take hold of your forearm or your hands. Start to lift the elbows up a little. Now we are going to move through this. So if you would prefer to stay still, then definitely do. As you inhale, we're going to lift the arms up. And then on the exhale, we're going to round in. So we're just bringing ourselves towards one another. You don't have to go that far. So let's do that again. So inhale to lift. Exhale to round in. Just taking your time. Don't forget about your knees. So push them out. Okay. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. So this time as you come back up, we'll just come back into that Garudasana. Lift your elbows, maybe move your wrists back a little bit. Do that stretch across your shoulders. Okay, let's take one more inhale. Now we're going to unravel your arms. I'm going to straighten your legs and straighten the arms up. So we come into this 5-pointed star. Maybe take a big breath in and sigh it out. Let's move to the other side. So bending through your legs again. Stretch your arms out to the sides. And this time we'll bring your right arm under your left. So just take your time, moving in, shoulders, forearm, hand. Lift the elbows a little bit. Give it a little squeeze. So either stay here, or as you inhale, lifting your elbows up a little bit. And then on that exhale, just drawing yourself in. Good. Again, just take your time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, folding in. Start to move with the rhythm of your breath. Let's do that once more. So taking your time, moving and breathing. When you're ready, come back into the center. So just holding that Garudasana once more when you get there. So wrists can move out a little bit perhaps. Maybe you just give it a little squeeze. Okay, let's take one more inhale. When you're ready, slowly release your arms again, and then come back into that 5-pointed star. So just stretching your arms, legs straight. Good. Okay, slowly release your arms once more. And then this time, turn your left toes up towards the top of your mat. Turn your right toes in a little bit more. So we're coming in for triangle. And hop your feet closer together if you would prefer. So from here, again, we've got that kind of opening through our hips. We're going to push away a little bit through your right hip. And we're just going to start to stretch down that left leg. So we're not going that far. Again, you stop where you want to stop. And with your top hand, you can either reach it up, you can bend it behind your back, you could grab a block and go further, or you can perhaps move further down. But where does it feel right in your body? You don't have to move all that way. Good. So finding some spaciousness, some room for light in our bodies. Okay, let's take one more inhale. Slowly rise up, so draw your belly in. As you come up to the top, rebend your front legs as if you're coming into warrior two. Start to turn on the toes of your right foot. So we're coming into this high crescent lunge position, maybe hands towards your heart. And then when you're ready, we're just going to step up towards the top of your mat. So maybe feet and hands together, closing the eyes for a moment. Just being aware of how everything feels on that side. Okay, let's try it on the other side. So again, separating your feet a little bit. Draw your belly in. Start to step back with your left leg. So again, into that warrior two position. So finding the right warrior two for your legs today. So it might be different from what it usually is. And then start to stretch your arms out. Opening your chest a little bit, stretching through your fingertips. And that gaze past your front fingers. So expansive. Steady breath. Let's take one more inhale. Okay, so when you're ready, we're going to reverse again. So we're going to move back towards that left leg. We're going to turn our right hand and reach it up. Again, you might just come to here. You do want to feel a little bit more, then start to move back through your body. So we create even more space. Be aware of your legs and your feet and how the balance is still the same. Breathe into the space that you've created. And then maintaining that sense of spaciousness, let's move forward to the side angle. So right forearm down, left arm either just reaching straight up or past your ear. Again, if you want to deepen it, then use your block or take your hand to the ground. But still with that sense of space. So we're not closing up and we're not leaning onto that right leg, but we're actually just, it's just there, our arm is just there. Okay, let's take one more inhale. Start to rise up again, so take your time. So as you come up, you can release your arms again. Straighten through your right leg, and then turn your right toes towards the long edge of your mat. So we are coming in for a wide-legged forward fold here, so just make sure your feet are where you want them to be, so they're aligned. Use a block if you'd like, or if you'd like, just lift your chest and belly and place your hands on your thighs and move forwards a little. So you might just come to here. If you want to move further down, then definitely grab a block and use your hands on the block. Maybe releasing yourself down towards the ground, just if it feels right. So coming into this forward fold, see if you can surrender into it. So without just letting everything go, we're still having to draw our belly up and in. Still engaging through your legs, but maybe soften your knees a little. Maybe soften your head and your neck. Okay, let's take one more inhale. So when you're ready, we'll draw the belly and bend your knees here, and then just roll and rise all the way up towards the top, taking your time. Okay, when you get up to the top, so we're going to turn the toes of your right foot, so up towards the top edge of your mat again. We're going to make sure our toes on that left foot are turning towards the long edge of your mat, and we're going to come in for triangle. So we're just going to push the hips away, coming down, just slowly moving our hands down, just the way we can. We're just thinking about lengthening this bottom sideways, and then either reach straight up with your top hand or bend it and move it behind your back. Again, work with the best position for you. So how does it feel in your body? Feel that sense of spaciousness and openness. Feel that you can breathe easily here. Okay, when you're ready, start to move up. So draw your belly in, start to rise up towards the top. As you come up, we'll rebend to your right leg. We'll start to turn on the toes again of that left foot and bring your hands towards the center of your chest. When you're ready, we'll step towards the top of your mat. So once more, we'll bring our feet and our hands towards one another and just slowly close your eyes for a moment. Okay, when you're ready, we'll release the hands and open the eyes. So we are going to come in and do our dancer pose now, but if you did just want to come in and do that quad stretch again, then you absolutely can, and use a wall if you need to. So we'll stand once more with your feet hip distance. We'll stand onto our right leg again, bend your knee and draw the belly in, and then just same way, just bending through that left leg. So again, you might just stay here. You might use your hand, so you could bring your hand to the outside, or sometimes the inside of your foot is quite nice. The right hand towards your chest, or maybe create a little chin mudra with your right hand, so the thumb and the pointer finger touch, and then you can reach it up. And then this time, so we're going to push our foot into our hand so that we create a little bit of a back bend, and then we just lean a little bit. So we're not trying to come really forward with the chest, but we're just trying to create that back bend as we come into it. So it's more important that the foot presses into the hand, you feel it a little bit in your lower back. And we're opening up our chest. We're still keeping our gaze steady and our breath even. Let's take one more inhale. When you're ready, slowly and carefully start to release. So take your time coming out of it. Feet and hands back together. Start to be aware of how that makes you feel. So how does it feel in your body? Let's see how it goes on the other side. So we'll release our hands, separate your feet, bend into your left leg, belly in, and then we'll bend that right leg. So again, just coming into it slowly and checking out how each part of it feels. And then if you want to increase it, take hold of your foot, inside or outside. We create that little chin mudra and find your balance at each point as well. Maybe keep your hand towards the center. And then very gently, so without rushing it, just start to think about pressing your foot into your hand. Okay, let's take one more inhale. Slowly and carefully start to release. Bring your feet and your hands back together. Closing the eyes down. Okay, we'll release the hands, we'll open the eyes. We're going to come down onto the mat, and today we're coming down with a little toe squat. So if you'd rather just sit down, please feel free to sit down. So I'll show you first and you can decide, but basically our hands will be here. We're going to come up onto the balls of your feet like you did previously, and we're going to squat down like this. If that is not for you, then you can simply sit down. So we'll take our feet hip distance, we'll draw the belly in, just lifting the arms, just kind of level with your shoulders. When you're ready, on an inhale, start to lift your heels up. So just taking it onto the balls of your feet, find your balance there. And then we're going to start to bend your knees. So as you do that, think about keeping your back straight, so as if you were kind of sliding your spine down a wall. Keeping the back fairly straight as we move down. You can always place your hands down if you feel a bit unsteady, but just lower down, hold here, breathe, focus your gaze. And let's take one more inhale. Now, to release down, we'll just take our hands down towards the ground. And then we are just going to come onto your knees. So you can come into Virasana here or hero pose. That's not suitable, and just swinging the legs around and taking a little seat. Take a moment there. We are going to come into Ustrasana today, and we're going to use our block. So the block is going to be placed between your inner thighs, and it's really just to give you stability in the lower body. But if you feel it doesn't help you, then don't use it. You just have to be careful because some of the blocks, so mine's is particularly wide and it wouldn't feel that comfortable. So if it is really wide, you might have to take it so that it's kind of that way rather than that way. If your block is kind of more kind of a cube shape, then you might be able to get away with it going the other way. But we want to bring it quite high up the inner thighs, and then we're just going to squeeze the inner thighs together. And the idea is not to get further back here, but to get more openness in our chest because we're more stable in our pelvis. So when you're ready, we're going to first of all tuck the tailbone under still, so we still don't want to arch the back, and then squeeze the block between your legs. Take the hands either onto your low back or your hips. And again, you're just having your feet behind you. So start to just think about opening your chest. So draw your shoulder blades together, pull the elbows back behind you. Maybe take your chin onto your chest. And this might be enough just staying here. Maybe as you squeeze your inner thighs, you might want to open more. Not suggesting you go back more, but think more about opening more. And maybe you release your head. And that's all we want to feel, that expansiveness, that openness in our chest, rather than, I think we get really obsessed about going back. But the important part of this posture is just trying to expand. Obviously, if you do want to go back, then I'm not going to suggest that you don't, but start to see if you can feel more of the openness. Okay, let's take one more inhale. So very slowly and carefully, start to just come up, take your time releasing it. And as you come up, you can just release the block and maybe sit back to Virasana. You can always use your block to sit back onto if you want to. Don't want to, you don't have to. You sit back onto your heels or swing your legs to the front. From here, we are going to bring our legs forward. We're going to come in for a couple of seated postures. I suggested a strap. If you want to use the strap here, then you can. If you don't want to, you'll have to. So we're going to sit forwards with our legs. So the first option, so there's two options for this first stretch, is half Virasana. So we're going to keep the right leg straight and we're going to bend the left leg in behind us so that your heel kind of comes towards the outside of that left hip. If that doesn't feel right on your knees though, start to bring the leg forwards and then bring it into Janu Shirasana. So the inside of your foot comes to the inside of your thigh. So whatever option you choose, then you just take that. And then sitting on both sit bones equally, we'll reach up on the inhale. And then we'll make our way forwards on the exhale. Again, if you come forwards and you want to use your strap, just placing the strap around the ball of your foot and then start to move in there. Again, just take your time moving into it, lengthening forwards without being too harsh about it. So start to move in with your breath. And just allowing yourself to release into it. And if you're using your strap, again, not harshly, but just very gently. Start to see if you can release a little bit through the head and through the neck. Let's take one more inhale. So slowly releasing your strap if you have it. Start to walk your hands back. And from there, bringing that left leg forwards, we're going to bring it so the sole of the foot is on the ground. We are going to come over for a twist here. So just lifting that left foot over the right leg. So if you want to come in for the twist here, just use your right hand or arm and the left fingertips behind you. If you want a little bit more, bend your right leg in so the right heel comes towards that left hip, and then start to move around from there. Again, it's not essential that you bend that leg, and you can always straighten it if it doesn't feel right. When you're ready, slowly back towards the middle. So as you come in, releasing your legs, you give them a little shake. We'll come in for the other side. So either, so we'll keep our left leg straight, you're either coming in half Virasana, so that right leg bends behind us, right heel close towards your hip. Again, see if you can sit onto your sit bones. Or if you'd rather take your knee the other way, coming in for Janushirasana, so the sole of the foot towards the inner thigh. So when you're ready, as you inhale, we'll lift up. And on the exhale, we'll fold forwards. So again, if you're using your strap, use it on the ball of your foot. Start to just gently draw yourself in. If you'd rather be more restorative about it, try and just relax down. So hands on the ground, maybe palms up, so you're not tempted to pull yourself anywhere. If you can just release into it a little bit more. Even breath. When you're ready, slowly and carefully start to move back up again. Releasing your strap. We're going to come in for that twist now. So gently bringing that right leg forward and taking it over the left leg. As you come in, just using your left hand and your right fingertips behind you. You want to bend in more through that left leg than you can. And just rotating around in a gentle way, so we're not being too aggressive. When you're ready, slowly release back towards the center. Release your legs and give them a shake. We are going to make our way down onto your mat now. If you want to, you can take a little bit more through your core. So just bend your legs up onto your sit bones. Reach your arms out in front. And then we're just going to slowly lower down here. Just in your own time, start to move down. So think about moving one vertebrae at a time. Nice and carefully. And releasing yourself down onto your mat. So as you come down, we're going to come in for a bridge. So you might want to walk your feet further in. You could grab a block here, lifting your hips up and placing your block underneath your hips and releasing down to that. Or just coming up into your bridge position, whatever that happens to be. If you can breathe more into your ribs and expanding through the front and the sides of your body. And let's take one more inhale. When you're ready, we're going to remove the block or just lower yourself down through your bridge. And as you come down, draw your knees in towards your chest for a moment. So we are going to come in for a twist here. If you do want to, you're just going to lower the legs over to the left. If you want a little bit more, we're going to do Garudasana legs. So we're going to have our feet flat. We'll lift the right leg up and you could cross it just over the top of the left thigh, but without any gaps. And then if you want to take your right foot
and hook it behind the back of your left calf. Stretch your arms wide, and then as you breathe out, just gently lowering the legs over towards that left side. Keep it looking along your right hand. And if it feels too much, just uncrossing legs. Let's bring it into the center. So we're going to uncross the legs again. To even your hips here, you might want to push through your feet and lift them up. And then we'll go the other way. So left leg lifts up and over the right. Maybe hooking your foot behind the back of your calf. And then just gently lowering the legs towards the right. When you're ready, back towards the middle. So uncrossing your legs, draw your knees in towards your chest. We're going to come in for a little happy baby here. So you could flex your feet, hands onto maybe your thighs or your calves, your ankles or your feet, wherever you can reach. Just very gently pressing the lower back down and moving a little bit through your hips if you like. If you want to work on straightening your legs, and you can do that, or any other little movements you'd like to make. Okay, when you're ready, we'll slowly release. So we're going to make our way into Shavasana next. If you do want to hop on a jumper or socks, please do that. Just finding a comfortable position. Try and allow yourself to relax. Maybe start to take just a quick body scan. Noticing any areas of tension. If you can release that a little bit more. Moving in with a deeper breath. Allowing the breath just to move smoothly in and out. Start to imagine a ball of light in your belly. Draw your attention to your navel, so just above the belly button. And start to see that ball of light growing with each breath that you take. Expanding through all parts of your body. Illuminating you from the inside out. With each breath you take, the ball of light becomes brighter and lighter. Moving into dark areas of your body and your mind. the ball of light becomes so bright, you begin to lose sense of yourself, and all you feel is this lightness and brightness. With each inhale, becoming brighter. With each exhale, removing any remaining negativity or tension in your body. And as you lie and breathe here in this beautiful light, you might want to create a little mantra for yourself, and you just repeat that in your mind. So perhaps, I am light. When you're ready, we're going to take a deep inhale. So just through your nose. And then just sighing it out your mouth. Like to do that again, just take another cleansing breath. And just letting everything go. Start to move next, so just do your fingers and your toes. Be stretching your arms all the way down to your feet. And as the arms come over, beginning to bend the knees, and taking just bigger movements. Perhaps rolling over onto your side. And then when you're ready, so there's no rush at all, we'll just start to make our way up. So take your time, moving your own way. Coming to a comfortable seat when you're ready. And just bring the palms together, so just in front of your heart. Leaving a little gap just to signify an openness in your heart. So thank you so much for coming along and practicing with me this morning. Hope you enjoyed the Illuminate practice that we did. Namaste. Okay, thank you very much, ladies. Well done. I'll just stop this recording and then you can